Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to talk about Embrace Rehab. My name is Luke. I used to be a social entrepreneur in Shanghai, building products that tackle social problems. This is a solar cooker designed for women in Tibet. Women in Tibet have no access either to gas or electricity. They spend a lot of time collecting woods to cook. This solar cooker helps them to reduce significant amount of time so they can take care of their kids and making money to end poverty. Now, I am an interaction designer, mainly focused on assistive technology in ITP. I asked myself this question many times. How might we improve the life experience for people with mobility limitations? I care about this issue because of this man. His name is Louis. He is my father. Last summer, he had a spinal cord injury, paralyzed on one part of his body. Now he's trying hard to walk again through physical therapy. However, even just like many patients in his situation, it is really hard to keep him motivated. My father is not a single case. Of all the patients that need to go through physical therapy, only 7% of them actually finish it. I want to change the status quo. I designed Embrace Rehab. It is a mobile app that gamifies the daily drudgery of home rehab exercise and routines. It is again play between the rehab patient and caregivers. It promotes the confidence and self-efficacy that is essential for rehab patients. Now, I would like to go through my research process that lead me into Embrace Rehab. I use a very powerful design thinking approach called feedback loop. Basically, you build the prototype as soon as possible to test the idea, then measure the result quantitatively, and finally, you learn from the result and identify the user insights. The key is to start testing the idea without writing my first line of code. My dad doesn't like to do home rehab exercise. I want to motivate him through change his behavior. I look into a lot of behavior changing series. One of the series I come across that really interests is called linkage behavior. It is proposed by the Stanford professor BJ Fox. He once illustrated this idea using a very classic example. He wants to create a new habit of doing push-ups. So he linked doing push-up with flushing toilets. So whenever he flushed the toilets, he will do 5 push-ups. And the second week, he will do 10 push-ups whenever he flushed the toilet. At the end of the day, he created a new habit of doing 40 push-ups every day. I'm pretty amazed, so I want to experiment this on myself. I've been gaining 10 pounds since I came to this country because of the portion of the food. So I need to go to a gym more. I also find out I'm addicted to something that everyone might share the same interest. I'm addicted to live video streaming, Netflix, and most recently HBO Go, for reasons some of you guys might know. So I told myself, I link these two behaviors together. I will only watch the live streaming if I'm on treadmill. The result is quite amazing. This is the data from my Phoebe app. I start to go to a gym from 0 times per week to 3 times per week. And the average time I spend on treadmill jumped from 20 minutes to 50 minutes, simply because I want to finish an episode. Another very powerful series I come across is called phone accountability groups. It is widely used for people who try to quit drinking, such as Alcoholics Anonymous. So this time I want to experiment with my dad. I asked my dad, my brother, and me to download this project management app. According to the suggestion from the physical therapist, I will assign tasks to my dad, mainly home rehab exercise. Whenever he finished one task, he will cross the task of the shared to-do list, and everyone in the accountability group will get broadcasted. The result is quite interesting. In the first, I thought my dad might be lazy, so I just give him one task every day. But after a phone call, he asked for more. So, okay, I give him 3 tasks every day. Then he keep asking for more. Nowadays, he's doing 6 tasks every day. And one very interesting behavior I observed from experiment is that my dad, every time he finished working on a treadmill, he would just update with me that how long he spent on the treadmill. It echoes with one of the theory that I come across is that the rehab patients have a need for track their progress. To test that, I bought my father a Fitbit. I thought it would be the easiest experiments of all experiments I come through, but actually this cost me the most challenging in my whole research process. After 2 days, my father started using the Fitbit. I find out the data is pretty weird. It's unusually low. So I call my father and I find out because my father's working patterns is different from people without a mobility limitations. So the Fitbit couldn't pick up the data. So we try out every kind of solutions. We try to ping the Fitbit in different part of my father's body. We even try to ping the Fitbit on the shoes, but it didn't work. Finally, we found out a perfect place, and we got a very perfect data. We pinged the Fitbit on my father's walker. So now my father have a smart walker, and we will be able to track his progress. Let's download what I learned through the whole process. I want to create something have linkage behavior for accountability group and track the progress. So that's how I built into my app, Embrace Rehab. After writing 1,132 lines of codes with some help from my dear friends, I finally put the app into my father's hands. And now I would like to show you a short video about the interaction between my dad and the app. My father is happy with this app, but the one that most happy is my mother, that my dad started to do exercise. From the back end, I can see my father's weekly walking step increased 152%. It almost triples his exercise compared to last month. I hope this project will not just stop as a project for my father, but for all the patients that need to be motivated. I cannot do this project with the help of the people listed here. Thank you all so much.